Hey friends, over the past several weeks I've been having a verse that keeps repeating in my head, and recently I've felt convicted to share this verse with you along with my thoughts on it. But before we get there, if this is your first time here, I just want to personally welcome you to the Homegrown Ministries YouTube channel. I'm DJ, and on this channel I strive to provide you with biblical wisdom and encouragement to strengthen your walk of faith. Now, as I'm sure you know, the world is in serious chaos. And maybe it's always been in serious chaos, but right now I feel like it's gotten so much worse. In addition, there's some things happening that are happening in my personal life that are just hard to deal with. The struggle is real, guys. And there have been many times in the past couple weeks where I've just called out to God and I said, why, God? I don't understand. I don't understand why you're allowing this to happen. And the verse that keeps repeating in my mind in response comes from the book of Job. Now, Job's a great sufferer at times, and he's a poor sufferer at times. But today's verse really speaks to one of the areas in which he did a really good job. So it comes from the book of Job, chapter 13, verse 15, and only the first half is what we're going to look at, where he says, "Though he slay me, yet I will hope in him." So Job has all these bad things happen to him. And it's through no fault of his own, as we see in the beginning of the book of Job, but Job doesn't know that. And so he calls out to God and essentially says, although God has the right to slay me, I will still put my trust in him. You see, none of us deserve anything but God's wrath. All of us, myself included, are wicked, wretched sinners who try to stand before a holy God. And the only reason why we can do that as Christians is because Jesus has sacrificed himself for us. He died the death we deserve, paid the penalty for our sins, so that we can be redeemed with God and made righteous again in God's sight, so that we can stand before his throne and make these requests and petitions. But even with that being the case, bad things still happen. Jesus never promised us a good or an easy life. And throughout the course of our life, things will happen that we don't understand. Like I said, there are things happening right now in my personal life that I just can't wrap my head around. And I don't understand why God is allowing these things to happen. However, even if I disagree, or even if I don't like what's happening in the world around me, what's happening in my personal life, even if I think I'm under serious stress and pressure, or even if there's things that are just bad, and I'm thinking to myself, God, why don't you just step in and stop this? God has a plan. And as Christians, we are called to be like Job in this moment and say, although he slay me, still I will trust in him. God has a plan. God has a plan for the entire world. And we are called to put our trust in him and in no one else. And so when things go wrong, we must take our trust, and we shouldn't put it in man. We've seen that fail recently with the coronavirus. There's so many people in the world right now who believe in science. They've been putting their faith and hope in man, and man has failed them. I mean, look at how we've reacted to the coronavirus. Truth is hard to find today because there's people on opposite sides of the fence telling you what is true, what is safe. And it's very hard to see the truth. And then we have experts who say one thing and then a week later say another thing as more information comes up. So we can't trust in man. We must at all times put our trust in God alone. So Christians, today be encouraged, because even when the world seems to be upside down, you can put your hope, you can put your trust, you can put your faith in the creator of the universe who cares about you personally. So call out to him and he will give you the strength to get through the day. Guys, I hope you found this message encouraging. I hope you found value out of it. And Christian friends, please continue to be the salt of the earth. Be light to the world. Go encourage somebody else today because the world desperately, desperately needs it. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.